Alright, good morning. Today we're going to see if we can try and get this 2003 Subaru Legacy, the last of the twin turbo, well, this is a wagon, made by Porsche and Subaru, and it is a 5-speed manual, 2-litre twin turbo. So it hasn't been running for about 2 years. Somebody's been in here and touched a whole lot of stuff. Under the engine bay doesn't look too bad. Me, myself, I'm a Hyundai and Isuzu technician, but I have had multiple Subarus. I have a really good one, 2 of them actually, in really good condition. And yeah, so I thought I'd buy this. I was going to scrap it for parts, but I actually might restore it. So yeah, we'll see. Alright, so under here, as you can see, somebody has been in here. This thing has not been running for a while. Someone sprayed lots of silicone all over it. Actually, mix of condensation and yeah, I don't know. But all in all, a lot of people complain about the head gaskets in these. Still got coolant, and pretty simple check on these for the oil. Not rocket science. Yeah, oil. Definitely been sitting. You should really change the oil after a year of sitting. But yeah, out over here you can see somebody's decided to use the worst silicone in the world, this red RTV sealer. That is not going to hold boost pressure at all. Why they would do that I'm not too sure. So on this side here we have the secondary turbo. A lot of people get confused, they think that's the primary, but no, secondary is on the driver's side and the right hand drive, and primary is on the left. They never made a twin turbo left-hand drive for the simple fact that steering got in the way, so they only did it in right-hand drive. Somebody's decided to put one of these on. I'm not really for them because they seem to screw these MAF sensors up, but that'll be one thing. I've actually got an airbox to go back on this. Not really a fan of pod filters. So before I carry on, I'm actually going to pull the timing covers off and have a look at the cam belt. Before I even try and tune this over, just to make sure the idlers and everything are tuning and they're not covered in corrosion, because the last thing I'll do is snap a belt on something like this. I'm unsure whether the cam belt's been done. There's 130,000 kilometers on this vehicle, and the timing belt's normally done on 105,000, so highly unlikely someone would have done it, but then again, people do and don't say anything, so yeah. Alright, so somebody has decided to destroy the nut that is encased in the plastic housing, so I can't exactly pull it back. Looking at the belt and the idlers, it's not factory, that's for sure. Looking on this side here, on bank 1, there's bank 1, not bank 2, sorry. We have marks on here, so somebody has been here before, and factory markings, well, they're not on there, but yeah, someone's used different colour paints in there, so the belt has been off before, and you can never tell a timing belt. By looking at it, you don't know. It could have an internal fracture or broken reinforcing plies in it. You can't just, somebody comes in and says, can you check my timing belt? No, I can't. You have to just go off maintenance. You can't just go, yeah, she looks alright, and then it snaps, you know, or you might get another 30,000 Ks out of it. It's one of those serviceable items that you just have to do. And doing them on these double overhead or quad cam, they're still a double overhead cam, but these 4 cams, they a little bit of an art to them. I've done multiple, I've done lots of them, but yeah, not too bad. But I'm happy with that, so that's one thing to check off. Just want to make sure. Yeah. Alright, so after putting the battery in, checking everything, got the ignition going, and no start. So the starter won't turn. So basically I just wanted to check for continuity on the end of the exciter wire, and nothing. So I decided just to pull off the intercooler, and as you can see with the intercooler off, there's the primary, and this model here has the 60mm intake, outlet, as the other ones only have 40. Only this model here came out with a bigger primary one, and the secondary you can see on that side there, and you can kind of see more of this mess that somebody's put on here. This is Having these here will cause the vehicle to overfuel every time you take off the gas, because the air that the airflow meter has read suddenly goes to the atmosphere and it's gone. So those cause a lot of issues unless you tune them out. Don't just throw them on your vehicle, because you will watch your fuel gauge just go and fail your plugs, catalytic converter, the whole lot, just no good. So basically what I've done is I have jumped from here to the starter motor and it clicked, and then it decided to come back to life. So now we've got that going, and so inside I've had a few checks inside, and the clutch pedal switch, which is in the circuit for the starter motor, the exciter wire, seems to have an intimate problem, so I've bridged that, and now the starter motor is going. So I'm going to whip this back on. In the process I did flick the key and the engine fired, so that's a good thing, but I will put this back together and then try and crank her over. Alright, so we have got the intercooler back on, clutch pedal in, the switch is all go now, and she is running. So pretty quiet, pretty sweet, no bearing noises. Belt's a little bit noisy, but bar that, she's a runner. So I'll definitely be stripping this car out, pull the motor out, pull everything off it, and redo the whole car. It'll be a bit of a project once my shed's built, and yeah, good to go. Alright, so here we are, we have a 2000, it's a BH5 REV B, as the other one is a REV D, and it's the last of them. So this one's an automatic, and obviously is in a lot better condition. I have got a BG5 intake on there, so I've had to clamp off that. That's temporary. I'm not really into dodgy type of stuff, but I mean that's basically it. So as you can see on this one here, a lot easier. So your secondary, and then you've got your primary. Here we've got a gasket, the other one's got some sort of sealant on it, the RTV, no good. There normally is a cover on top of here, but they tend to get old and break. I mean, this one here has done 205,000 kilometers, no sorry, 223,000 kilometers, and also somebody's installed this as well, a strut brace. But a lot of people hate these things here, they don't know how they work, and they give a lot of issues if things aren't done properly. You've got lots of different vacuum hoses and stuff like that, and pressure hoses and atmospheric pressure hoses and stuff like that. I've spent years and years studying them, so I understand exactly. That's why I'm not afraid to touch them, it's because I kind of know what I'm doing. Well, I actually do know what I'm doing, so yeah. So. Alright, and here we have a 1997 BG5 with a REV D engine in it that has been modified on the manifolds to fit this engine, so it's still got its existing sensors, throttle position sensor, idle control, and all those bits and pieces. This car here has been stolen once before, and it's still in the process of fixing it. This one here I'm actually going to convert to single turbocharge with a VF52 turbocharger. There's a couple of things that aren't quite right with it. With the power steering hose, when it got stolen, they cut that. They missing bits and pieces here. This wiring here is not right. But all in all, this car runs, and it runs really well, and it's a 5-speed manual. And I've had this car for quite a number of years now, and it's never missed a beat. It's been all over the North Island of my country, and it is a car that I want to keep going. As you can see, this car originally was white, and same with the red one, that was white as well, and I had painted both these cars a number of years ago. But all in all, yeah, so this is kind of my secondary project at the moment. We're in lockdown at the moment, so I kind of haven't got a chance to get certain gaskets and stuff like that, and I don't really want to start a job without the parts, so that's where I'm at with this one as well.